Let me go ahead and start with thank you for coming. I appreciate it. You've been really successful on your glow up.
So spray tanning is all that I do. We have lashes, we have the teeth whitening, we have body sculpting, several cosmetologists and estheticians. So we have almost every beauty service that you can think of.
Wow, you're really on it.
We try.
That's good because knowing the town that you live in, it is a very, very small town.
Yes.
So services are very limited, and it is an hour, 30-minute drive for them to have those services because it was not available in your city.
Yes.
Which is very, very convenient for them.
That's why we also started doing the pop-ups to have like the tattoos and the piercings, because nobody offered anything like that.
And snowballed to something.
Yes. Now we have the entire.
Wow.
The whole side of that building. Took a training with another artist that I had found who was from West Texas. She kind of just helped me on the professional side a little bit to kind of put myself out there. A boutique owner was opening a store and wanted me to spray tan out of it. So I went and I did that for a few months. And my business grew a lot just having a space. And I kind of outgrew it real quickly. And then I ended up having Lana Bevel as a client. She was the realtor that we bought our house from when we moved here.
Oh, okay.
She told me she had some rooms available, and Payten had been a client. She had reached out to me and asked me to do something with my business. You are literally a professional teeth whitener, and that was something I had wanted to get into. A lot of spray tan artists add it to their business. Yes, there's no licensing required. I was like, what about if you do teeth whitening? After being there only maybe 2 months, we realized we need our own rooms. Like, it was crazy.
So how big was the room that y'all were sharing?
So just like a regular normal office size space. But we had our front lounge. I did not ever start out thinking that I was going to open this full shop. We're mostly all there just to support each other.
Exactly.
While running our own businesses. But like, I never intended to do anything other than spray tan.
Yeah. I think that's everybody's goal.
And that's why I got into spray tanning. Like, I always loved it. You just feel more confident. When you've been so many sizes and you're self-conscious, it just was something I always went back to like make me feel good. I don't do anything with the tanning beds. I preach very heavily against tanning beds. We grew up in that time where
we had the little
everyone was wanting to go to the tanning beds, and they're also like they're not hygienic. You can get funguses and bacteria from them, and it just was I never enjoyed it. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, I went and relaxed in the tanning bed. I'm like, how? You're sweating? You've got all the gross lotion on? To me, it was never an enjoyable experience. And so spray tanning is the only safe tan.
Do you have products? So do you have an online to where they could go ahead and choose their products to go ahead and keep the tan going? Or how does that work?
Everybody comes in, every single appointment you have a consultation with me. I have clients who get sprayed every week that sometimes they want to change something up. I can take orders like on the phone or through messages and stuff for like retail products, but I still have to have a consultation with that client to make sure I'm giving them what they need for their skin.
Okay. To have the unexpected happen for you and it just falls into place, because at the end of the day, I think everything's a full circle. People fall in your world for a reason, and for you to actually explain, you knew Payten, you knew your realtor, like everybody around you was there for a reason. And how is your relationship with the other girls? So
that's one thing that I really take pride on, and I know people admire when they've been around any of us or at events and different things. Everyone owns their individual businesses, but everyone's a part of Glow Up, and we have a built-in referral program just through us. So actually have relationships with all these people. Business and personal. And sometimes that is hard to navigate with women. The truth is that we can actually communicate with everyone and have the conversations. They're renting from Glow Up, from the Glow Up Lounge. That's where they're renting. But we all work very well together, and I will say that has been probably my favorite thing, and I love that because I feel like spray tanning is like just a little bit of what I actually get to do now, even though that's what I love to do and that's the service I provide. But being the fact that it turned into a completely different business, it's much more rewarding.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
and then they, oh, well, you do this? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
let me
it's
go ahead and
literally
set-
head to toe beauty.
Yeah, it's like a
services.
whole
You walk
domino
in.
effect.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
we get new clients I didn't know all this was here, even though we've been there for 2 years now. Her and I,
Uh-huh.
almost 2 years. Corey comes out and does piercings for us all the time.
Okay.
So like even if we don't have it there, I'll understand and know that we will still have it there through pop-ups.
Exactly.
And then so you have all of those clients coming in for a tattoo or a piercing on a random pop-up Saturday, and then they get their teeth whitened, or they book a spray tan,
Yeah.
or they want to get their brows waxed or get lashes.
So everybody just kind of
we all
wins.
Yeah, everybody wins. It's
Everybody
a win-win-win. Everyone piggybacks off everybody.
Yeah. Go ahead and introduce Payten. Payten, the teeth whitening.
Yes.
So how did you run into Heather?
So I was needing to get a photo shoot done, and like she has pointed out multiple times, you just don't always feel at your best. I mean, I think I'm pretty cute, it's all right, but I wanted to look my best for this photo shoot, and I reached out to her for my first ever personal spray tan. Yes, I've done the machines and I look like Ross, but I don't care what you have me do, but I want to be a part of this feeling that you gave me. I want to make others feel like that. Like, yes, I'll teach you how to do it, but right now, what if you do the teeth whitening side? Aren't you a dental assistant? And I was like, actually, I've been a dental assistant for almost 10 years, and I know a lot about the mouth. And she was like, I would love to add that. I want to be in this. And I can see this going places. One, I've lived in Andrews my whole life, and I know that having the connections in Andrews is a big deal. You never expected it to, and I feel like I saw that from the beginning, and it helped her see that we could really do this. And yes, it's not always easy. We have to have awkward conversations about, hey, I mean, just the other day we had a lunch meeting, and I was like, I feel like I'm a co-owner, but I don't have any responsibilities besides showing up, and it's so much more than just being that stepping stone of opening up my own business, helping other people open up theirs. It's a place where you don't just come and rent from and, oh, here's my rent money, here's my check, here's my deal. It's so much more than either one of us could have imagined it being. And you might have people come and go, but that's part of the beauty of it as well, is we're always growing, we're always adding, we're always maneuvering.
Every person
through that.
has benefited, and I feel that was one of my favorite things. Like I said, maybe somebody was doing something on the side for years, and then they came in to glow up to do it for the first time professionally. We've had that happen with several girls that grow their clientele, and being able to like be supported. Like when you walk in our shop, the second you are a part of it, you are a part of it. We support everybody 110%, and I feel like that's been the biggest thing. Like she said, I have a real problem with self-confidence and that whole imposter thing. She was always the one that would be like, it's not a big deal, you can do that. Like she was very supportive.
And if you feel the vibes are so down and draining, and you feel like nobody really wants to be there and nobody's really enjoying it, that's what you're gonna get as an outcome. But if you motivate each other and you know, constantly remind each other, like, hey, we got to do this, like, you're not alone, we're here to support you, what can we help you? Because
if she asked me, then I'm more inclined to think, oh yeah, please take that from me, I would love for you to do that. Like but that's saying I'm not very type A where I have to like have everything my way. If you can do it, please do. If you want to do it, please do. And you like the neat little columns.
she has her list.
Trust me, our books don't look the same, but that's what balances us out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like sometimes it's okay to be a little bit more like relaxed about things. Like it's not that serious. Especially with this many women, you have to let some stuff go. You can't get hung up on every little thing.
Cranny.
Disagreement or
there are things that not everyone's going to agree. We just have to make executive decisions, and then that's just been it. But that has been harder for me to like step in the role of more of like, this is how it's going to be. Like I'm not good at doing that at all, and she's much better at that. I feel like that's like one of the best things about having a partner in your business. like we can do something my way. If it doesn't work, then Payten can do it her way.
Yeah.
Like, and then that might work for that instance. So it's good to be able to switch it up because
Good cop, bad cop. I
Yeah,
mean,
for
sometimes
sure.
it works.
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Because I mean, like I had mentioned, you have to have that person to go ahead and equal you out.
Mhm.
Because if you don't have that person, and that's what partnership is,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I mean, you can take that even to your marriages, to
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
friendship. Started with a friendship
Mm-hmm.
first, and it wasn't as strong. Like, it was straight up just like, hey, I liked the way I felt. Can I be a part of this? And it is on a personal basis now, but we don't let that get in the way of our business either.
No.
Yeah.
But I knew her enough to know that I wanted her involved in my business immediately.
Yeah.
Every time we've had to come across something hard or complicated, she reiterates to me every single time that I pick the right person to do this with.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And that is
To do this
very,
with.
very rare. Because you hear horror stories
Mhm.
of, you know, I trusted them, I thought they had my
I mean, we've
back,
dealt
and-
with it over and over and
Yeah.
over again at the shop. It's so much easier to deal with someone that you're able to trust.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, yeah, having friendships mixed with business is tough.
It is very hard.
Having to separate and make those boundaries is hard for me, the people pleaser. It's not as hard for her,
Yeah.
but that's harder for me. But we balance out because by the time we've got to the hard conversation, I've already usually have put out a few fires
Okay.
my way first.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't pull her out unless I really.
I'm like guns and blazing.
Yeah,
like,
that's
here
what I'm
we
like.
come.
It's like, don't make me call my
You're
dad.
like, attack mode.
Yes, by the time she gets involved, it's because it hasn't been able to be
Yeah.
handled in Heather's way,
Yeah.
in the nice diplomatic way.
It's not always bad. Like, we're
No.
not even talking about standing our ground when there's bad things happening. Like, it's
Yeah, it's
just
just
in
just in
general.
general.
Yeah,
like,
it just
not
as
having that
business.
feeling
Mhm.
of I'm being defeated. No, you're not.
hmm
Take a deep breath. Let's go. Let's keep fighting. Like,
Like I'm just praying about it, and it has always kind of just worked out.
The universe always
Yes.
makes it work out.
And I'm so every person that's in there, even every single person that's in there right now, I'm so thankful for, and they're exactly the right person to be there.
like unify
Yes,
everything.
and know we're all in the right place.
It's so great that y'all have that friendship and that you back her up and she backs you up and that everybody knows their spot.
Yes,
Because a
that's-
lot of people
And it's
have
not
more
50-50. If
Yeah.
there's days that she can bring 100% and I'm out, she's going to pick up that 100%
Yeah.
and be like, hey, I got it. We're good. There are times that we want to just say, meh, just do what you want to.
like
We're
I could
done.
spray tantrum in the house again, right?
And I'm like, no, let's not do this. Like, let's not panic. Let's just get going.
And I've done-
we're
we've-
gonna be fine.
we
And
have
I've had to
flip-flops.
do the same time where I'm like, Heather, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow. I
And-
get it.
yeah.
It's not that deep. That's like our saying is, it's not that deep. Calm down. Like, you're fine.
Yeah.
And then we get back going, and I'm like, I'm back. Don't worry.
I love that because y'all actually put yourselves out there to make people feel great about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Compliments about how everybody makes them feel.
Yeah.
They're not being specific to having their hair done or having their lashes done. They're talking about how each person makes them feel.
Yeah.
I think if people feel comfortable with me, they feel comfortable with Payten because they know me.
Exactly.
And vice versa. So that's, I feel like, or if they feel comfortable with Karina, they already know they're going to, oh, well, I like everybody y'all have here.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe we've created is that all of our clients just love everybody.
Oh yeah. And that makes that builds the environment for
Mhm.
your lounge itself.
Like everyone there is so respectful. And like we all bring out like the best of each other too. Like we all kind of balance each other.
And I think it's so funny how you meet people in certain situations that you would have not even known it.
Like if we hadn't met on that professional level first. So many different walks of life. We all have completely different backgrounds and such good friends. Whereas if I didn't meet her through my business, we probably wouldn't be. And so I feel like that's what makes it really special.
It's so uniquely intertwined because that town is so small. And for you to actually start and have to build something to provide these services in that town makes that town so much better.
I appreciate that. I think it helped that I wasn't from Andrews.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's very hard to kind of break into that if you're not from there, but at the same
Yes.
time, I think it gave me a major advantage.
Yeah. Whenever it's on a personal level, because I'm telling you from me myself, that I've seen you grown. You know, I've seen you from when you
Yeah,
started.
you're not just a stranger.
Yeah, and
telling
I'm
us
not a
that- I mean,
stranger.
those are good too when a stranger.
But it's almost like you have a removed point of view a little
Yeah.
bit. We've formed professional relationships first.
Mhm.
And now I have so many friends, and now I consider so many people friends.
Mhm.
But it didn't start out that way. But being Payten is from Andrews, I think it helped a lot because she does have major connections and things that I couldn't possibly have because I'm not from there.
Exactly.
I think, and that once again, it's where we balance each other out a little bit. But you know, you have to just kind of let people
do their thing,
Yeah.
because the pettiness in that town is
it's hard sometimes.
It's hard.
It has been. And I will say it would be real easy to clap back, and it would be real easy to get on Facebook and just
that is
let
the worst.
screenshots speak for themselves and not to engage on Facebook drama. It's in my contracts with these girls.
Good.
Because I feel like one of the best things that has happened through some of those situations is we have been silent. We stayed silent, and it always shows up in the end that those people don't continue to win.
Yeah, exactly.
And it sometimes takes a little while. You have to have patience and like a lot of prayer, and I stay kind of neutral and
Silent.
professional and silent, because people I've sat back and watched people destroy their businesses.
Oh, exactly. Just because they want their story heard and they want the truth out there, and it's like,
And they're just spewing hateful
Yeah.
things. It's not even, there's not even a lot of truth to, a lot of the times there's no truth on their side.
it is what it is.
And she's probably the one who has taught me too, like, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
I was always a people pleaser. I want everybody to like me. I want everybody to know me. And sometimes that's not important.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's true.
Their opinion.
The true ones will know.
Yes.
Like, if you're having to question if this is real or not, I probably don't want you to come back either. Like, whether
Yeah.
it's as a...
These are luxury services.
Yeah.
If you sat there and you believed that for a 2nd we didn't have our I's dotted and our T's crossed, you're probably not for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to run straight to those sources and open your mouth, I guess, for and say these bad things and continue those rumors, then I'm real quick to say I don't need you here.
So saying a client will become a friend
Yes.
faster than a friend will become a client.
Yes, there you go.
And I will say definitely a client will pay full price faster than
yes.
a friend or family that, you know.
Because I would always run into that. It's like, hey, you know,
What was your cost for this?
And,
Like,
Yeah, how much did you pay for that?
Yeah.
Like, give it to me at your cost.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Not what you paid for it, right? Or you could just do it
Exactly.
real quick, right?
Yeah.
And having to stand your ground and hold everyone accountable to that professionalism. Because I want to work with everybody, every possible budget. I run packages and specials all the time, and you do as well. We always try to do certain special things. But going above and beyond, I already do that. That already comes with, I don't care if you pay, you come get a free spray tan at a training that I'm doing, your tan's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to go above and beyond no matter what. And so it is really frustrating sometimes when you get people, especially as your family and friends, that try to,
It is very frustrating.
because you're like, this is my job. This is not just a fun.
Yeah, and they think it's kind of like, oh, well, you know, I know her, it ain't gonna hurt her because she probably, well, what about if you were my only client that week?
Exactly.
You know
I need
what I
that
mean?
full time. I need that
Yeah.
full price.
The whole full
yeah.
price, because you're
It's the time that you're investing is more
Yes.
than people don't realize. I can run specials and do a discount, but my time, like I said, my time is still all the same that I'm investing, and your spray tan is still going to be just as perfect and custom blended for you as if you were paying full price.
Yeah.
But it's that time that goes into it. A deposit, is a must. And I know it's that awkward conversation, but I just made a policy, and every time someone books with me, I just send it to them. That was one of the biggest things to me. I couldn't fathom trying to mess with someone's livelihood for no reason.
For no reason whatsoever, just because
you wanted, because
The
you were
gossip.
maybe threatened
Yeah.
by, that was one of the biggest things. I didn't run into a lot of these issues until I was growing. Every single new client just about is that no other spray tan artist has done every single thing that I do. It's because I've been getting them for so long. I've taken so many of the things over the years that each individual person used to do, and I do it all.
Okay.
So whereas some clients have been like, oh, well, I've never had the powder at the end, or there's no one size fits all.
Okay.
I do a consultation with every single client every single time.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the process of after the consultation, or what you said you go ahead and match their colors at the consultation and what they want specifically. So after the consultation, what is the process after that?
So I go mix them up according to number one when their rinse time is. If they want to rinse in that day, we're going to do a rapid. Typically, or if they have a super late appointment and they only have a short amount of time before they need to rinse, we can do a rapid. But if they're typically going to just be able to sleep in it, you're going to do an overnight, so I'll mix you up. We decide whether or not you're going to add the hydro tan to it, which is a second spray that I do after your spray tan for moisturizing, and basically this is a very dry climate. We have very hard water.
Yes.
So it helps get you a little bit darker because it has pure DHA in it, but it is clear. It's the ingredient that makes you tan.
Okay.
So it's in that, and then so it can go on anybody because there's no base to it. But it just moisturizes and gets your skin a lot more hydrated, so your tan will last a little bit longer. So we go through all of that, and then I mix them up, and then I spray them. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes, and everyone gets powdered down. I wipe your hands and feet. I'm very, 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 very peculiar, and I am a perfectionist when it comes to the spray tanning because it is my only service. It is my, what do you call it, my specialty. It's the only thing that I do. So I just took a little bit of something that I was getting from every person, because like I said, I've never personally gotten a spray tan from anyone who does everything that I do.
Wow.
And so that's what I said, a few years ago when I started doing trainings, I felt like that was important to grow the industry in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because everything that I do, I don't try, and there's some spray tan artists that charge for every single little thing.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Oh, wow.
That also is why prices are the way they are. I mean, not saying that she's way overpriced or anything like that, but you have to consider she's also doing the powdering for free. Yes, you could add it and do, hey, I can add on powder. Well, I don't really need that to save my extra $5. No, it's included.
I feel like it's needed for the perfect spray tan
for that
and the experience. So it's the most ridiculous cycle, but that's one of the things I feel like that I try so hard to make people feel comfortable, because I know how much it feels
to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and
you have to have that self-love for yourself
to finally realize like it's not about really.
Yeah.
That's not it. It's the mind and heart and body thing. Like, you can look just like you think you want to look and still find the thing and still be insecure. I have people like, there's so many different shapes and sizes. I'm like, look, and plus I'll never remember. I get girls in there, I'm like, they're so worried. I'm like, I'm not going to remember, I promise. This is, if I have people, I'm like, I remember they're like, if they have a mole that's changed colors somehow, or if I have a girls, I'm like, was this here? This wasn't here last time. I've sent girls for scans and stuff because they, that's another certification I have where I took the training to be able to spot different things. Hairdressers, nail techs, spray tan artists, anybody that's dealing with those places that you don't normally see. Like, I've had girls have stuff on their backs that I've noticed from one appointment, or I have a girl that has a burn right here, so I'm not going to try to blend that out.
Yeah.
I just know that it's a scar.
Yeah.
So I'll remember those things, but I'm never going to remember what your like full anatomy looks like from one appointment to the next. But it is super important to know your clients and to build the relationships, because like I said, I would feel real weird telling you, a random person, a stranger, oh, I'd get that mole strip. And it's really the only beauty service that relies so heavily on communication, with me communicating how you need to prep for your service, me communicating with you through the entire spray tan, and how you're going to take care of it afterwards. Spray tan relies 99.9% on the client for the results.
Yeah.
I can spray tan you and it's perfect. But if you don't rinse when you need to rinse, or if you do things that you're not supposed to, there's a big opportunity for a lot of bad results, bad outcomes. So I've had clients, we run through the list of questions of how I've had clients, that's how they find out they're pregnant.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because they're like, well, why, for some reason my legs didn't get that dark this time. Well, your pH, their pH was off, and I was like, well, are you on your cycle or this? And she was like, actually, I have not. And
they think about it,
and she was like, wait, I'm like, okay, bye.
Wow,
It was one of,
that's crazy.
yeah, so like, but I need to have that relationship where I can be comfortable, and you can tell me that if you're, you know, and they have a sheet, every first time client will fill out a questionnaire and little sheet and kind of go over some things. I need to know if you're on certain medications.
Yeah.
Or if you take retinol or Accutane, or if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, and they're also, you know, I might spray you a little differently and with a different solution if I know these things.
Yeah.
So you have to have the personal relationships with your clients, because it is a very vulnerable and personal beauty service.
It is.
I mean, I tell people to literally squat so I can contour their hiney.
Yeah.
It's a very, it could be super awkward.
Yeah, if you didn't have that conversation.
Yeah, and if I just stood there completely,
you know?
and just went to spray them
Yeah.
and not talk.
And that is very important that you make them feel comfortable, because then they'll want to go back to you.
That's my favorite.
Get the same service.
My favorite compliment is not about the color, how much they love the color. I like the way that they feel because of the spray tan, but them complimenting how I made them feel during the appointment is really my favorite.
Yeah,
If
and
a client says, can I bring my kids, I'll be like, so we'll have that open on the 7th, and we'll share all that. I know her hours are a little bit, she's going to have morning and afternoon hours.
okay.
And then our October pop-up will be the 26th, October 26th, for a Halloween pop-up.
Halloween one.
And that one was really fun. We did a trunk or treat last year. And I mean, that was like probably one of our most successful pop-ups we've ever done.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. So we'll be posting about all that stuff, but immediately the 31st we'll have a tattoo artist. We'll probably have some food out there.
Okay.
And then on the 7th, our store, the consignment shop, will be officially
That's
open.
awesome.
So I'm really excited.
A lot going for y'all.
Thank you.
Like, I'm so, knowing you from taking a jog on live and just talking on, Facebook and stuff. Because I remember you would go on live and just do your little running and, your exercise.
And see, that's years that I did that.
Yes.
The podcast is a Canute thing, but I've been doing the Insta stories and the lives since my youngest is going to be 12, and I started that boot camp when he was 6 weeks old, 6 months old, and in East Texas, and I just got super comfortable sharing my weight loss journey, and that was kind of how that started.
Yeah.
And then I had a keto business, and I had such a following that I just kind of piggybacked that, and I did all that. And then when I moved here, it kind of changed for a little while. I kind of went into a little West Texas shell for a bit. But when I started working at the middle school in January of 2020, and that really changed my whole kind of relationship with Andrews.
Yeah.
Kids are not forbidden there by no means, but it's one of those hey, what? You might want to think about this, because I know I've had to get a spray tan in the middle of the night thinking I have an event tomorrow, we're already up here, will you knock it out? And my kid's up there.
Yeah.
Yes, my kid has seen me, they're my kid, but I also don't want to get fully nude in front of my child while he's sitting on the couch playing on my phone, because next thing I know we're FaceTiming Mimi and everybody's on the phone call with me, and I'm like, sorry mom, don't worry.
Getting your hiney contours.
Yes, and so it's there are still times where even with my own child, I'm like, hey, come sit over here while I get this done. It'll take, Heather, I need you to chop, not that 20-minute one. I need a 7-minute one, because he's gonna be distracted.
Yeah.
But
and there's a couple of girls we trade services. I'll do a spray tan for them, and they'll bring a giant box of all their baked goodies for us to have out.
Wow.
So we don't even charge for it. We just put it out, and people can take it and take the card, and it gives them exposure.
Well, that's good. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, I've done that plenty of times.
That's good. That's smart. Yeah.
So we get the product there, but we don't even have to exchange money.
But they still get that exposure. That's good. That's great. So do y'all have one planned for?
So I'll pull those up real quick. We do. We have a tattoo artist from Lubbock. Her name is Faith. It's Faithful Ink. Her family owns E-Doc Ink in Lubbock. She actually did this one and this one. She's done one on you. She did this one. She's awesome. Her name is Faith. She'll be out on the 31st of this month. Not sure on times yet, but typically it's 10 to 6.
Okay.
And then we have our September pop-up planned for September 28th.
Okay.
And it'll probably be 10 to 6 as well. I know that we'll have permanent jewelry, we'll have tattoos, we might have a piercer. But we'll have tons of shopping. Our consignment shop will officially be open on the 7th, on September 7th.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be called Market on Main.
Nice.
And we're super excited. Kaylee is the girl who owns it, and you can bring stuff to sell on consignment, or we're going to have the booth rentals where small businesses can rent them out, or individuals just to like sell your things. We've had girls that do like the car freshies or the cute tumblers and stuff. You can rent out a shelf. She's got all different prices, different depending on how much space you want. And we're also going to have a refrigerated section as well, so that we can have some of the local bakers and different things. So we'll have that open on the 7th, and we'll share all that. I know her hours are a little bit. She's going to have morning and afternoon hours.
Okay.
And then our October pop-up will be the 26th, October 26th, for a Halloween pop-up.
Halloween one.
And that one was really fun. We did a trunk or treat last year. And I mean, that was like probably one of our most successful pop-ups we've ever done. Yeah. It was so much fun. So we'll be posting about all that stuff, but it works out. Like I said, everybody benefits, and it's so much fun. It is. They're so much fun every time we do
I always
event.
giggle about them because most of the time we both offer services a lot that you don't normally just walk in ready for a spray tan. You're not always ready to not be able to eat whatever you want after a teeth whitening. So a lot of the times we don't stay very busy for our actual services during pop-ups. So I always say, I think I spend more money than I make during a pop-up.
Sometimes we hit all the booths, and
we walk around and we shop and we
get tattoos.
Things. We get permanent jewelry. We do all of these things together, and then we're like, we shouldn't have done all of that. And so like that's why I added the hat bar. I was like, oh, it'll keep me a little bit more busy, so I'm not spending that money. But I always still do. I still hit everything.
Because we get to see and meet people that we didn't know.
But once you get to that part of the rewarding part and the part that you're seeing the rewards of the hard work, that's whenever it's more like, okay, I did do this for a reason. I did go ahead and give everything else up. You know what I mean? And that right there is what we should live for, because it's only one life that you do live.
Yes.
And on top of that, you want to live the best of it, and you don't want to feel like, well, doubtful, and I'm not good enough, and I'm not, because I think it's easier to put a person down to actually build them up.
Oh yeah.
And the negativity around people is so more founded to put somebody down than to actually that's support them and be like, hey, you're doing a good job.
Our first nature is to be a little more selfish and be a little bit more, not even conceited is the word, but more worried about our own things than someone else's. There's nothing wrong with these careers. It's just a different path. Yeah. It's the same as and
it's a different generation.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's a very different generation. I think it is more acceptable now. I think it is more like mainstream now.
And I think people are more awake to not be stuck in that corporate job and not have that 9 to 5.
Because you're making everybody else money.
Yeah, exactly.
They're cutting you a paycheck, but you're also building their business.
And what do you get out of it?
Yeah.
Other than
they could fire you at any moment.
And you're just a number.
If we all just stayed in our lane and supported each other, you're both gonna go somewhere. Yeah, you're both gonna go somewhere.
It's the same thing. Something might work for Payten, but something might not work for you.
And we
don't have that exposure of somebody saying, hey, let me go ahead and expose what you're doing, because you're doing such a good job, and I'm so proud of where you've come from where I've seen you. And I just felt like you need that from somebody, because a lot of people don't hear that. And Facebook does it.
A pat on the back goes such a long way. Words can't carry so much weight.
Exactly.
Like, you're doing a great job from someone who really doesn't have it's a very unbiased opinion. You had no reason to reach out to me and compliment me. As far as it just feels good to give somebody those words of encouragement, because you don't have to. But it feels so good to hear that from people. Your family and friends, they can say all the things, but y'all have to say that. Y'all have to think that. And tell me that. But having it from someone else who just professionally sees that, is it feels really nice.
Yeah, and
And everybody needs that.
Yeah, everybody needs that for sure, you know. And like I said, I've met you once, you know, and I have you on Facebook, and I didn't know you were her business partner, but I had seen y'all together, you know, so I kind of figured you were Payten, you know. So
That's me.
but I mean, that's my whole point on why I wanted to do this, because I want y'all to see that people are watching y'all, people are cheering y'all on, people are wanting for y'all to be successful, people are wanting that.
Well, that feels good, because
You know?
it honestly, the negative stuff comes through a lot easier.
And it's so much easier
That
to be
loud, it's
negative
louder.
than
The negative stuff is louder sometimes, even within your own self. And we also want to stay comfortable.
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
Growing is not comfortable.
It's not.
And for years, people would ask me, "Oh, how did you lose weight?" They don't want to really hear the truth.
Yeah,
They don't really want to know what you did. They want an easy way.
exactly.
When I tell people that I worked out for 2 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week, and counted every single thing that went into my body, they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You want to hear the quick fix, but there's no
Yeah.
long term. That's never gonna. The lifestyle is not. If you don't change your lifestyle, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing with business. Like, there is no one way to do it. There is no guidebook to this. We say it all the time. This is my first time here. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing, but I know where I want to get to. I know where I want to go, and you just kind of have to. The work it's hard,
Yeah.
and there's no one way.
Yeah. But yeah, for sure. Like I said, y'all are doing great.
Thank you.
Everything is like 100 with y'all. Y'all's pop-ups, y'all's
Thank you.
networking, y'all's everything are amazing.